Hey, I'm Kev, Mexico, and welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the Manager Career, as this is the 12th round of the 5th season and our inaugural season in Moto 2 with Dan MacDonald on his ElusiveKev machine, looking to do a fantastic job in conditions that he loves. Of course, it's raining and it's pouring and it is raining cats and dogs as we return home to Great Britain for the Scottish ride and round this Silverstone circuit, the British Grand Prix, the 12th round of the season, of 8 up and down the season, and we had the lowest of those last time out in Australia. He's looking to bounce back from those where we had that final corner, but for some reason it just made the bike not go through it smoothly. Well, all these corners are much smoother for Dan MacDonald so far. Looking at through maggots and bits through this first section with Coxers, well, looking very good as he goes through Chapel, the modified Chapel for the bikes, and down this hangar straight as the Silverstone circuit has been nice to us in the past, and especially with these conditions you expect MacDonald to be right up there. Now we go into Stowe after reaching almost 150 miles per hour on the machine, breaking down to around 50 or even 60 or 70 miles per hour in that third gear corner, now into Vale and Club, a much tighter complex than it used to be before the 2010 modifications. Now you can see very tight Vale corner, and then through Club it does open up, but you can batten that rear, and especially in these conditions where you go past the Silverstone wing and down the straight towards the Abbey and Farmers and into the new complex. Even though it's 8 years old now or 7 years old, it's still new to me. Has Dan MacDonald looking very smooth and looking very good on this. Because he's aiming for the top 20. This could be even higher with how well it looks like he's riding it. And you may be hearing music in the background because this is the first episode, I believe, of this series where it's been edited and post-commentated. Because unfortunately, I did commentate this live. I did commentate the next round of Misano live. But during those two conchis, my audio was messed up. For some reason, it's just distorted to hell. I can't fix it. So now you're having this episode being edited. Misano probably won't be edited, but still will be post-commentated. You still hear the music in the background as you can't use any of the audio, unfortunately, from the footage, but you can see the footage at least, and you can hear post-commentated Kev. Who doesn't like that? As you go across the line with a 288.3, I won't mess up my words as much perhaps over the live commentary, even though I think I've gone a bit better over these episodes. I mean, I've almost done 100 of them, as you can see, very wet conditions, and MacDonald is flying. Look at that, he's right at the top, just ahead of Alex Marquez and Franco Morbidelli, with Thomas Luthi leading the second ahead of Miguel Oliveira, Matteo Pessini, and then on the third row you've got Nakagami, Baldassarri and Marcel Chiarotto on that Suter, with the master tactician Xavi rounding out the top 10 ahead of the other home hero Danny Kent in 11th, fellow Moto3 champion as well. And then you've got Luca Marini on the 4th row. Looking further down, where is Jack Vonda? He is in 27th on the 9th row alongside Johnny Hernandez and his fellow countryman Brad Binder, with the Spanish rider right at the back. So a decent qualifying for the elusive twins, but we know in these conditions they can go so much better in the race. So let's see how they do as you go to the starting grid, and it's looking beautiful with light still at the top. You can see the conditions still very much, they are wet, but the track is a bit dry. It's not pouring down with rain at the beginning of this race, so a bit of a drier track. Still, these conditions are wet. It should suit MacDonald's. Unit further down the grid, and there is Magnum in 27. Oh, he looks focused for this race. Look at that. As they go right about there, Zika with his own grid position. And for once, I have Gavin Emmett talking over the top of me. Here we go. I can talk you through Marquez, Morbidelli and MacDonald on that front row, gearing up for what should be a thrill ride for MacDonald in these wet conditions. Even though, as I said, it's dry at the moment, at least with the weather conditions, but the track is still a bit wet. That's why on wet tyres, especially going offline, you can see it's just got one line around here. He's got a super start once again in this race, this 5-lap race. He's getting away from pole. It might be a bit of a boring affair if MacDonald is once again streaking away, just like we saw at Le Mans earlier in the season. No doubt we've seen before in Moto3 as well in wet conditions. He goes through maggots and Beckett's. Let's see who's behind him. It's still Morbidelli. Oliveira up to third ahead of Marquez. And of course, Luti's probably in there as well. Baldassari and Passini will maybe appear, the veteran Italian. But you can see MacDonald is just streaking away at the front. And this race was all about Dan MacDonald, and it was a one-man show at the front, as unfortunately it looks like Simone Corsi is down on that speed up. Oh, he's often battling for the points, is the Italian. It can be a bit up and down on that machine, and it looks like Oliveira is up past Morbidelli, up into second place for the Portuguese rider on that KTM. He's still fighting for the championship as well, alongside Morbidelli and Marquez, the Mark VDS twins. So looking good for Oliveira this race, but as I said, MacDonald is streaking away. And now look at this, his rain dance is working once again. He did a pre-weekend rain dance, worked in qualifying. He's done a pre-race rain dance, and look at it, it's working well in the race. This track is going to get wet. It is going to be a Noah's Ark affair for the rest of this race. By the end of it, you definitely will need that boat as you go through Aintree and down the Wellington straight on this first lap. A 1.5 second lead already over Oliveira, with Morbidelli right on his tail. And this was the story of the race. Not as much, MacDonald leading from the front. It was all about that battle for second between Oliveira and Morbidelli, just for toed and froed. You've seen that when he's opened up, just changed positions already 3 or 4 times as you go to later in the race, as you go to Woodcote and going across the line onto the second lap. MacDonald leads, and you can see that track is already wet, and look at that dry line's already disappearing as he leads by over 2 seconds ahead of Oliveira as he goes a bit wide in Copse there. And of course he did the fast at 2:10 with Morbidelli in third. Say that back, he's already up to second, already into Copse, making his way past the Portuguese rider. And so the Italian and Portuguese rider just having an epic battle this race, while we're watching Dan MacDonald just cruise away at the front. As you can see, not hitting every apex, but still getting speed through the corners as he's got over a 3-second lead now ahead of Morbidelli as he goes down this long hanger straight. As you know, further behind, it's thinking of where's Marquez in all of this, where's Jack Veranda as well, as he goes very wide in Stowe, almost into the tarmac runoff as Oliveira's back past Morbidelli down that long hanger straight into Stowe. A very good passing opportunity if you're behind someone, as Raffin is down. The Swiss rider teaming up Thomas Luthi on that Intuitive machine. Very disappointing to see, and his chances of points have just gone down with him already in this race on this second lap, as MacDonald leads by 3.5 seconds as we go to the end of the lap. You can see Morbidelli and Oliveira are still exchanging places for fun on this second lap, and now Morbidelli's ahead of Oliveira as let's see the gap behind as MacDonald dips into the 2:07s, and it's over 4 seconds, almost 5 seconds in front as he sets the fastest lap going on to the third lap of this race. And he's still very wet, and you can see breaking into Brooklands, being very cautious, making sure that rear end doesn't step out, and then going through the off. It's all about being careful with the traction so through these corners, so you can see how smooth MacDonald is. Oliveira gets past Morbidelli back up in to second place at the end of this third lap, and into the second half of this race he's just clearing away on to the penultimate lap. Look at 2:07.1 now. He's just in that groove, in that zone, and no one's going to be messing with him, no one's going to be battling with him or beating him around here, as he's got a 7.5 second lead over Morbidelli now as he's back past Oliveira. Definitely Copse and Stowe seems to be their best partner opportunities, and then into Brooklands as well after that Wellington straight, as it is Morbidelli behind with Oliveira right on his tail. And of course you've got Marquez perhaps sitting back a bit, got Luthi as well as you go to the fourth lap now, and later on as you go through Vale and Cub, once again Oliveira's ahead of Morbidelli. This battle is going to be settled at the line, isn't it? And as we go past the Silverstone ring, still not sure what to think of the Silverstone ring. It's just a very unusual building, is it? As MacDonald breaks on the curves as Oliveira gets past Morbidelli again through Vale and Club, where he hangs on to it, does the elusive rider going through Farm, and now going to the end. The poles now going on to the final lap of the race, been streaking ahead of Morbidelli and Oliveira as it looks like the Italian's now winning that battle, and he dips into the 2:06s. Look how fast he's going. He's just building confidence with every lap. He wants this race to last forever. but he's just got one more lap of this Silverstone, so just over 2 minutes to go. And as you would predict, it was a very smooth run to the lines. He just slowed down a bit, took it a bit gently on this final lap as we see these final corners for MacDonald this race, going through Brooklands, going through Luffield. Get on the power, look at that, the back end gets slighted out, but he's been so smooth, so confident in these conditions once again as, I say that, he takes Woodcote on new shares. Olivia gets past Morbidelli, and now MacDonald, oh my god. I hope he's fine after that. I hope he can take the next race in Misano, as he's 13.6 seconds ahead of Olivia with Morbidelli in third, Marquez in fourth, Luti fifth, Alasati sixth, Fassini seventh, Bagnai eighth, Ekigami ninth. The Master Tactician rounds out the top 10 ahead of Marini, Courtois and Danny Kent in 13th on home turf, scoring points on that Suter being the top Suter rider. So pretty good result from the former Moto3 champion, but it is all about the other Moto3 champion, all about Dan MacDonald and Elusive. This race, a masterclass at the front, as looking further down, you've got Axel Pons in 14th. Remy Gardner scored a final point ahead of Dominique Agata, just by a tenth of a second, with Shorter in 17th. Xavier Simon 18th and Jack Vander in 19th ahead of Isaac Vinales. So decent result for the South African. Could have asked for points maybe, but still top 20 finish, very solid for him as he continues to improve as this season wears on, of course, with that level 3 crew. It hasn't perhaps shown as much effect as I expected, but you're starting to see a bit there, getting the top 20. Result is right at the back is Jorge Navarro, disappointing for the Spaniard. As in the championship, Alex Marquez leading by 20 points ahead of Miguel Oliveira in third, while Fuka Morbidelli in second. Miguel Oliveira in third, hanging on in that championship battle, just 3 points behind the Italian. They really did battle on track and off it, as Dan MacDonald was the big winner, up to 7th ahead of Piscini. But Baldassari ran out of the top 5 behind Luti, with a down Bagnai in 8th, Zabi in 9th. And Marini ran out of the top 10 out of Nakagami, Courtois and Danny Kent in 13th. Once again, just like in the race, Dominic out to 14th, Axel Pons 15th. Looking further down, last point scores Jorge Navarro in 23rd, Jack Vander in 26th, and right at the back is Locatelli, the Italian, as we got the Spanish rider right in front of him. As in the constructors standings, it is Calix by 87 points ahead of KTM, Tech 3 in third, building a bit of a gap to Suter, who are building a bit of a gap to speed up. As well as there we go, the Dan MacDonald in the paddock. The drinks are going to be him. He's going to make it out alive out the BRDC club, is he? As he's surfing that rives in the race, that wave of success as well. As look at that perfect weekend for him. Pole leading every race, every lap in the race, and every race round Silverstone. Well, not quite in Moto3, has grabbed another pole thanks to the sip at the stopwatch king. He achieved the race with Joe as well, finishing 22nd, but it's the Argentine rider. Look at that, starting 19th, finishing 17th. Getting close to the points. Oh, I can feel it, I can almost taste it. Same for Vander. Qualified 27th, finished in 19th. So very good results there from the Argentine and South African. And of course, MacDonald, who improves his throttle management. Vander improves nothing. Sipper improves his braking. The Argentine improves everything apart from his throttle management, as we earned a decent haul of credits and reputation as well. Beautiful. And now we come to the transfer window. Not much to do apart from look at the activity, because I don't think we're going to change anything in the transfer window. So we can do an interview, prove our reputation by 100%, get 6,000 credits, get 800 reputation for doing a gala evening. Then my campaign, get 100% net credit bonus this time around. A bit like the interview, but instead of reputation, get credits. But I think we're just going to go with the sponsor event or interviews. And so going back and forth, maybe I should concentrate on reputation as well. Actually, no, it's credit bonus actually for the interview. So gala evening, don't really care about that, don't care about the reputation. It's all about sponsor event, interview or my campaign. So the interview or my campaign actually have exactly the same bonus, it looks like. Actually reading the screen properly now. So do I go with interview, my campaign or sponsor event? I think I'll go for the sponsor event in the end, do I? No, I'll go with the marketing campaign, of course I do. As next time out, as I said, again, post-commentator episode, I do apologise for that, for the technical issues I had recording the sound. These episodes where you can see the whole race in the background. It's not going to be edited like this, and the race being chopped up. I hope you enjoyed this post-commentator episode. Sam for watching, I'll see you next time.